Hey, it's John Martinez here, and I wanted to come to you to share with you the process of creating a custom audience in Facebook from which you can create a lookalike audience. So when you first start advertising on Facebook, you are investing heavily into testing. Those kind of the first process is you're testing ad copy, you're testing headlines, you're testing images. There's a lot of things that you're testing for, but typically those are the three main ones. And once you have tested and you've tweaked your ad to the point that it's giving you the results that you want, whatever you're optimizing for, it could be leads, could be sales, it could be likes, page engagements. You could be optimizing for different things. It just depends on your campaign. Typically, I'm optimizing for leads and or sales. But once you have been advertising for a little while and you've got your ad pretty much dialed in and it's giving you the results that you want, instead of when you want to launch a new ad campaign, instead of testing again audiences and all those things that I spoke of earlier, audience, ad copy and headlines, you can actually create custom audiences from data sources that you're compiling. And so, Facebook will optimize or will let you allow you to create custom audiences from, everything from, page engagements to leads, to sales. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do. And so I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the process of creating a custom audience from a ad campaign that I ran. It was running people to a webinar. And so from there, I have a list of people that actually attended the webinar. So first off, we want to go over into our ads manager and select the appropriate ad account that we want to create this custom and lookalike audience in. All right, here we are in my ads manager, and you want to go ahead and here under account, you want to select the appropriate ad account. Like I mentioned, I have a lot of ad accounts here, of course, and so I'm going to pick this one down here, which is where I want to create my custom and lookalike audience in that I can use for my ad targeting. So we're going to load up that ad campaign, and then, so here we go. This is the ad account that I want. So now up here in this hamburger menu, you want to go ahead and select this. Now that you have the appropriate ad account selected, you want to go ahead and click this hamburger menu. This is going to open up this window. You want to go to All Tools, and under Assets, you're going to want to select Audiences. This is really a great tool. It's a great resource. Allows you, to really dial in your ads without having to keep retesting. So the asset library is loading up here. And here we are. So as you can see, I have a lot of custom and lookalike audiences already created that I run a lot of ad campaigns to. But first thing you want to do is you're going to want to create your custom audience. And like I mentioned, we're going to be utilizing a data source that I have of webinar attendees. I want to create a lookalike audience from those webinar attendees, and Facebook will go out there and take the data that we're going to upload and find other people that are similar to those. So I want to go ahead and click on this blue Create Audience, and we are going to want to create a custom audience. So now, there's kind of it's just going to be a simple comma separated value database, just a CSV file. And so we're going to upload a customer file that I already have on my computer. So we're going to want to select there. And then we're going to add the customers from our own file. You can also copy and paste that data right into Facebook, but it's just easier, being that most of your data is being compiled in some sort of a spreadsheet already. It's just easier to upload it. So we're going to click there. And then don't worry about all of these identifiers here, because Facebook is going to look at your database. They're going to look at the headers, and they're going to see what information you already have that's in your database that it can use. And it's going to go ahead and map it for you, or it'll actually even give you an opportunity to map additional fields if you want. So once you're here, like I say, don't worry about all these identifiers here. The most important one really is the email address, to be honest. So we're going to go ahead and click Upload File, and then you're going to search your computer to find out where, to the location where you have your database. And so mine is right here. You can see it's here. It says Web Attendees. So I want to use this one here. It's got about 350 or so entries in it. And typically, 100 or more is sufficient for Facebook to go ahead and compile a lookalike audience for you. So we've got that loaded in, and in the next screen, you're going to see where it is the mapping screen, where it lets you map the fields from your database. So see, now the ones that are already green, it already identifies, right? And so, it identified first name because one of the headers in my database is always FN for first name. LN would be last name. And it even, looks at the headers. It says here visitor ID, the type of entry, which was webinar registrant, email, of course, opt-in date. But doesn't use these. It doesn't need this information. It's irrelevant when it comes to Facebook compiling your lookalike audience. So I just go ahead and I leave these defaulted. Whatever information identified is fine. In fact, you can even select these and have it not even use this data. Like I said, the most important one is really the email address. So being it's already, it's already kind of mapped those three fields, let's go ahead and just leave it defaulted like that. And we're going to go ahead and click upload and create file. So there we go. So it's uploading the file. 357 entries is what it found. Okay, and so that's done. The custom audience has been created. Now the next step is to create a lookalike audience. Okay, so you want to go ahead and click done for this phase. So we're done. So now up here you can see this first row is my most recent custom audience that we just created from the data source that we uploaded. Okay, now you're going to see here that it's updating the audience. Now this sometimes takes a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, let this work for a while, and when it's done, I'll go ahead and I'll continue the video and show you how to create the lookalike audience. All right, we're back. So that took about 5 to 7 minutes for Facebook to go ahead and do its business in the background there. So now you can see that this list says ready. This is the database that we uploaded, and it's indicating that it's ready, that we can use it to go ahead and create our lookalike audience from. So next step. So now that we have that taken care of, I want to go ahead and select that list, and we are going to select create audience again. Only this time we're going to create a lookalike audience. Okay, now we're going to select our source file, which is the custom audience that was just created, which is web attendees right here. Custom audience, you can see web attendees. We're going to load that up. And we also want to select the countries that we want to use. So now I want to use the United States, and I also want to use Canada. Okay, now cool thing here is you can create from that data, that custom audience data, you can create multiple lists simultaneously of various sizes. And basically the way that you do that is you go ahead and let's go ahead and this slider here where it says audience size. So right now it's just set to create one list, and that one list is going to be somewhere around 2.4 million people. But if you slide this over to 3, okay, it's going to create 3 separate lookalike audiences for you. This is powerful. Okay, and it's going to be based on, again, only the countries that we selected, but it's going to give me 3 separate lists. One of around, if you notice here, see where it says 2.4 will be the first list, then it jumps up to 4.8, and the third list is 7.1 million. So, I mean, you could be running your ads for an entire year on just these 3 lookalike audiences. So again, there's no need to continually test and test and test. Once you've done the testing initially and your ad is fine-tuned and it's generating the quality leads that you want or whatever you're optimizing for, you've got it dialed in, there's no need to test anymore. Okay, just continually make new custom and lookalike audiences. It's more fun, it's more refined that way. Okay, so we're going to create 3 separate lists there. So we're going to go ahead and create audience down here, this blue button. We're going to let Facebook do its magic in the background. Now this does take some time for it to generate. Okay, so you can see here it's done the first one. This is the custom audience. So the first one here, it's working on. It says fewer than 1,000, but this takes some time. Okay, it's going to take some time. This list will start to grow and grow and grow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, and once it's done its business, we're going to come back and take a look and see what they come up with. So let's go ahead and pause, and I'll be back shortly. All right, so I'm back, and here you go. You can see now here in my audience, you can see that these are the 3 lookalike audiences that Facebook compiled for me. And you can see one of them has 2.3 million, the other one has 2.4, and the last one has 7.2 million. So there you have it. I mean, that's really what you want to be doing. You want to be creating, you want to be compiling custom data, data sources that you can then bring to Facebook, import it as a custom audience, and then create lookalikes, okay? That will save you a lot of money in the long run. You don't have to keep testing new audiences or anything like that. Once you've got performing ads, just create lookalike audiences. Well, that's it for this time, for this video. I'll see you on the next one.